Welcome, everyone. My name is Danny Ross, and welcome to another edition of the AI Lunch and Learn. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got a lot in this particular lesson that I want to cover. Let me also grab a Word version of the workbook. And I'm actually going to share it at the beginning of the class. I don't really need you to follow along with it. I just want to make sure I get it to you guys. I just want to make sure you guys get it. Let me drop the Word version in the chat, and then therefore you guys have it. All right, one last thing for me to remember at the end. Okay, let's get going. We've been on a mission, kind of exploring all the latest versions of AI agents being built out by the large language model platforms like OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, soon to be Apple with Siri, and all of these large language models and the agents and all the fun things that they're going to be able to do. We started last week on the building out a new platform internally called Drive 360, which is basically a business operating system using agents and agentic functions to do all kinds of fun things. It's really interesting. I've been building my own internal automation systems. And so the idea being the AI agent, I'm really fascinated by some of the things these things can do. I think next week I'll introduce the voice component of some of these AI agents into the mix because you can be even faster, even more powerful. But first, we're building the infrastructure that will allow us to have our businesses become more automated, become more agentified, if you will. And so the idea here is, like I said, last week we did the Drive 360. I've even had it start automating the functionality and building thumbnails for me. Traditionally, my channel has been purely educational in the sense of just dropping videos every week and then even sometimes multiple during the week. And the goal was always just to have a archive where everybody can go look at older lessons, search it and find it. And so now we're adding more automation between myself and a couple of my VAs. And the idea is going to become to build it into a nice production level YouTube channel. And it's so funny because I had to develop these introductory kind of thumbnails. Thought it was hilarious. You know, when it does these generations, some things are always a little bit off, and then it's up to the user to determine how far you want to go in correcting it. One of the things my VA and I were laughing about is like, hey, Danny, your finger seems a little long here. And I said, leave it. I like the way it makes you look at the introducing section. So even though it looks a little silly, I think it works pretty well. You can tell the selfie is me, and then the hand is generated. And so it generated it in an interesting way. I thought it was I'm going to leave it in there. I'm probably not going to use the same thumbnail, obviously, week after week after week, but I just thought it was interesting to show you guys that some things in AI is still a little bit off. But the ability for me to create these marketing style thumbnails week after week with automation, have the AI do these workflows for me, including generating all the documents and everything that I need, all the emails, the posting segments. That's kind of what I'm talking about when I say we're going to build a marketing dashboard. Some of these things are going to get exposed over the next couple of weeks as I continue to streamline that Drive 360 agentic business suite. All right. So you guys are seeing me build this as the plane is flying kind of thing I mention every week. I like to use real examples of things as much as possible. So we're going to show you and continue to build out your marketing. We're going to help you with all the things I've spoken about as far as improving your own personal websites and building out the ability for your business to continue to expand and grow. All of these things are going to be continued. So this is my website, my main website. I have a couple, but this is the main website. And as you can see, it's continuing to get improved every week. My VA and I are just touching things up and redesigning things. The only thing I did not change, and I joke about your hero section being the most important part of your brand experience when a first-time visitor drops in on your website. You want to make sure this section immediately speaks and gives value, and as a do as I say, not as I do example. I kept this opening graphic because I just like it. And so, even though it would make more and practical sense for this to be my actual hero section, because it actually tells you about the website, what it's for, and has a call to action and has all the elements that a good hero section has. I've actually made it a subheading, but this should actually be the hero section for my website. But I like this. It has no purpose at all. It's just cool. Again, do as I say, not as I do. Anyway, we're rebuilding out the website as part of this whole marketing rebranding. Again, I want you to take all of these lessons and integrate them piece by piece into your own business and keep growing that way. By the way, is there anyone on here who this is their first time? Please go ahead and drop a one in the chat. I'm always interested in anybody new. All right, so as we proceed, it's so funny because I've been thinking about the components of the Drive 360. And of course, marketing is a huge part of any business growing, doesn't matter what business you're in. It's functionally important to myself, my customers, you guys, and everything else, it kind of falls into place as if you can get this part right. That's why it's important for us to kind of spend a good amount of time on this. We're figuring out how to succeed in the modern digital world, how we can use agents to make these things simpler. So these are the types of things that all of us really don't want to do in some cases, don't have time to do in other cases, and simply are not good at it in third cases. As we go through this, feel free to interrupt with questions in the chat. I'm happy to kind of bounce back and forth with you guys as we build out these things. But these are the kind of core things of what we're building. And this part here is very, very important. We want it to be repeatable as we talk about the drive framework and the things that we know we have to validate every week. And then if you've been following along, validate every week and then scale it from there, make it bigger and better. So the Drive Business Dashboard, we kind of started with the Drive 360, and the whole idea of all of these lessons are to kind of build upon each other. So last week we built the overarching business dashboard or business OS platform, so it kind of covers all of the things that a business needs to be doing. And now we're going to kind of simplify, focus in on one aspect of that dashboard, and then we can put them all together ultimately. So one kind of ties into the other and drives the information and data up to the business dashboard. And that's the idea. So if you have a really good CRM system, you might already have some of these things, but most of us are using disparate systems all over the place, and trying to put them all together in one place is the idea of using the agents to go get all that data and bring it all together, whether it's your email, your social media, your CRM system, your website, of course, and pulling them all into one dashboard that we can work on and build kind of a customized version of some of these tools. And by doing it this way, you get a better understanding of what's important to you and your operation. All right, so let's keep going. So, small business marketing is often scattered. So, you have different pieces all over the places, your documents, your in-person things that you're doing, whether it's speaking engagement or attending networking events. You need referrals, you need partnerships, and all of these things are all over the place. So, we're going to have AI help us put these things together. So, what's happening in your marketing right now, we're talking about just understanding, am I doing this or am I doing that this week? And then getting all of the lead intelligence connected, because it doesn't really make sense to spend money or time doing marketing and then you're really not capturing what actually occurred after the marketing kind of thing. And then part of that is having content publishing strategy that you're going to work on. And then, of course, as we validate every week, we want to make sure that anything that is being missed, we kind of roll it back into the system and correct it, in other words. So this week we're going to be building out the Drive Marketing Dashboard. It's going to help you see what's going on right now, all the things that you need to work on and be scaling. And it's not just a content calendar. I think that's an important thing. So it's going to encompass all of the things, including your successes. So if it's connected into your email and your CRM and your website, it's going to see the successes that are coming from your marketing. So that's what we're talking about as well. So we're building out the whole Drive 360. It's got the business dashboard, sales dashboard, and today we're focusing in on the marketing dashboard. So and we'll work on the other ones as we go along over the next couple of weeks. Okay. I'm giving you this deck as well at the end. Again, the Drive format, real simple. We are somewhere in between the deploy and reach functionality right now, and we're going to talk about how they all tie together over the next couple of weeks. Deploy. Today's top priority, marketing. Okay, marketing, marketing, marketing. Upcoming campaign deadlines, meetings. What do you have going on in your calendar, in your email? Put them all into one place. Reach, we're going to create that visibility. We're going to get people to notice us out there and all the noise that's out there, all of the other competitors to your business. How do we make ourselves stand out in this crazy world of digital marketing? And then, of course, turn it into real ideas and assets. And so AI, what's fantastic is once you've defined what it is as far as your goals, the AI can handle all of the heavy lifting. Okay. Literally, you can have it not only create the content, but then monitor the results of everything. So whether you're getting bookings, whether how is your engagement, what's your reach. And as I do this for myself and for other customers, we're all going to benefit on it together. And then expand, of course. This is for anybody who might have missed some of the basic Drive functionality. So this is the sections that we're going to build into our dashboard. It's going to have the executive summary, the events and networking, the snapshot of where we are today, come up with some new content ideas. AI is absolutely fantastic at coming up with new ideas. We're going to have the old campaign calendar, but it's going to be built on our business brief and everything that we know we want to accomplish and follow-up opportunities. This is where AI can shine because we don't have time to actually do that. So we can have it kind of work on that for us. So by the way, it's kind of interesting how AI is numbering these and having them kind of linked together. I think it's interesting anyway. Lead source snapshot, files needed, email, marketing, social queue, website, and opportunity. So these are all the things that we're going to need and break it down into sections on our marketing dashboard. And I did create one just before we started this call. I wanted to see how long it would take from the master prompt that's in your workbook. Please don't go looking for it right now. This is kind of what it built out for me as an example. So, deliver the Drive Marketing Dashboard class was the top thing on my dashboard. And it was kind of interesting. I have a customer session that I'm working on for tomorrow. And then what is this, by the way? I'm sorry for those who don't know. This is actually a website that the ChatGPT agent skills, it's called Sites, built using that master prompt that's in the workbook. I wanted to see what it would kind of look like so that you guys could see what we're working towards. It's okay to give you all these prompts and things, but it's also important for you to kind of see everything as it's presented. And so I see immediately some things I would tweak. So for example, right now, I've only had it focused on the AI Lunch and Learn. So it's really just kind of showing you what's happening next. I like this calendaring function. It's pulling it directly from my Google Calendar. And I specifically told it only to focus in on things that are applicable to AI Lunch and Learn. So I do attend the ABC Tuesday Talks meeting every Tuesday because I like to participate in the community. And then it's just laying out some of the other things. It doesn't have my business meetings and things like that because I didn't want to share that with you guys. It did have the one strategy session with the Clean Wizard because that's one of the ones I talk about all the time. It's one of my customers that I use as a public example. She doesn't mind. All right, attribution before assumptions is just kind of like, hey, how was this snapshot going to be? So we're going to be working on things that are applied, and there's a small business expo outreach that they are reaching out to us, small businesses, email campaigns. I have to go through and continue to utilize a weekly promotion setting so you get those emails every week. I have to make sure I get that replay up to the YouTube. I've created an automation that goes directly to my VA. It creates the thumbnail that's going to be used for this week. I'm going to go through all of this with you guys, but the idea is these are the steps, right, that are part of your weekly drive. So this is what we're building effectively. And then, production queue, what needs to happen? Main event graphic, LinkedIn graphic and copy, ABC community graphic. Every week I try to come up with a graphic to be included in that meeting. YouTube thumbnail, short teaching clips. I'm going to basically cut down and create shorts and reels from the full hour and have that, out there promoting the next class. And then the own the practical AI for small business questions. So these are the questions that need to get answered, and the AI needs to be answering it on my behalf on my website or in the marketing that we do. Oh, by the way, I should make this a little bigger. Sorry. There we go. Sorry about that. I often forget that my screen makes things extremely small. There we go. It should be a little easier to read. And so, how can ChatGPT help run my business? These are questions, and you want to have these answered on your website and things like that. So, this would update, I'd have my VA update our FAQs on the website to make sure all of these things are being answered. And then here's some landing page ideas. So create, AI strategy session for small business, build AI marketing command center. I like that. AI training for teams, learn, leverage, and launch. That's an old saying that we used to say. And then my old partner, he used to call it leverage, launch, and earn. Anyway, so the idea being the small business AI stack for 2026. So these are educational topics you might see me pull up after we get done with this Drive 360. And these are all, I'm showing it to you in slow motion because I want you to get an idea of what you're building and why you're building it. Turn attendance into a pipeline. So what are we going to do over the next couple of weeks? Repurpose the campaign. So we're going to talk about other things that we can do to continue to grow. All right. So I think you've kind of seen enough to understand why we're doing what we're doing and what these components actually turn into as far as either an internal AI website, or it can be something you share in your team, and or it could be something that you ultimately build into your actual website, especially like the event participation. I'm planning to build in the YouTube channel more into the website, where we're actually working on that now, so that all of the social media marketing is going to be built into this. So we have the blog that kind of is just the purpose of the blog really is for AEO, or AI engine optimization. So the chats see something new every week on my website and helps build my authority with the AI, different AI platforms. And so I'm going to add more of the social media and more of the YouTube specifically where all the lessons are. So as a free resource and things like that. Okay. So back to here we go. So your business context, okay, who you are, how you market, where you're headed, all of these things need to be trained. You need to train your AI on, and we usually use the business brief. That's the tool that we usually create. And there's a prompt coming up here. Now, this prompt, we have given out different formats of it. So this is just one of the latest versions of it. Same prompt that we have used. If you guys have already done this exercise, ignore this one. But if you haven't, please go ahead and add it to your list. For people just joining, let me go ahead and copy this prompt in here again. And so this is the initial business brief prompt. different versions of it that we've done every week, but you can run that through ChatGPT, have it interview you. We also call it the interview prompt. So it can learn about your business. And then once it learns and you train it on your business, then of course that can be applied to everything else that we're building, including the marketing dashboard. Let me also share a few other links for the group. So again, these are my week by week links. So feel free to reach out to me if you have questions or you have a website you want us to look at and rebrand and rebuild for you, or you don't have a website and you need us to build it. We also, of course, create and build digital AI apps for businesses, and we do AI training. So that's kind of like the three core functionalities of Digital Express and what we are focused in on every week. So this is the free AI Lunch and Learn for everybody who's just joining. I just realized the people who are just joining need the workbook, and drop the workbook in there for you guys. Feel free to grab it. And when we're done, I'll also you'll have the replay of the recording. It'll be on YouTube, and you're going to get this deck in just a moment. All right, so this is the prompt for building out your business brief. As I said, most people on this call have already exercised. What's even better, and this is where we're improving our business brief, is when we start connecting the various other tools that our business uses. Integrating the CRM, that's on my task list. And the reason why I'm hesitating to do it, because again, that is a piece that is going to be very specific. Everybody has their own CRM, so they might need to build a CRM, all of those types of things. CRM is a customer relationship manager. It's a place where you keep all your contacts and business relations, and it can be connected to and handle your accounting. It depends how sophisticated your CRM is. Or it could just be a spreadsheet that you have somewhere, which is not the best kind of CRM, but if it works for you. And so what's nice is you can have the AI build pieces. I've asked the AI as part of the exercise in me building my own dashboard out. I've asked it, hey, what about if I have you build me an app that does this functionality and that functionality? And it's like, yeah, I can do that. And it's going to be interesting to see as I continue to build out these business dashboards, how much or how little we can start to lean ourselves off and cut down on the number of tools we have. I have one of everything. I have, of course, an accounting and business system for managing the money. I have a CRM system. Matter of fact, I have multiple CRM systems. And hence my point of, hey, let's consolidate this and have the AI kind of bring this together. So whether you're using a CRM system in Wix Studio, which I have, or you're using Go High Level, which I have, or you're using HubSpot, or wherever you're using as a CRM, that's one of the reasons why first I want to kind of consolidate, and then we'll have some education on that. Your email platform of choice, as I've mentioned several times, I happen to like Google Workspace. I also have Outlook and the whole Microsoft 360. I can't remember. Microsoft system with Outlook and everything else. So again, I'm trying to consolidate. I have Zoom, I have Google Meets, all these different pieces. I'm bringing them together. And as I connect them into my AI infrastructure for this Digital Express Business 360, I'm going to simplify and make these things smaller. And by the way, you can also go the other way and expand it. You can use tools like Zapier or Make, which are aggregators of plugins. So, right, for example, we talked last week when we were building and connecting. As you are connecting all of these things in ChatGPT, you're using effectively what's called a plugin. And so you can build out these things. Let me bring this over so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Our buddy here, I happen to like ChatGPT, but you can use any of these, whichever one you prefer. And as you are using the new version, 5.6, you can kind of play around with how much intelligence it uses, hence how many tokens, hence in your weekly or monthly usage, you can tell how much you have left and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, so you can go in into your settings and you can play and you can upgrade your plan and you can keep track of all of the usage that is in there. Anyway, let's not get distracted. So from here, you can see where I have plugins. So I have right now three major ones. I have some more actually that are attached, but I'm definitely using Gmail, Outlook, using the calendar system, Drive, Google Drive. So I like Google Workspace as my, I think, primary, because it's cost effective. You get a lot for the value, and including all of their little spreadsheet, workbook. I still have, like I said, Microsoft Word. I have PowerPoint. I have all that stuff, but I very rarely use PowerPoint anymore in my tools. And I'm going to share some of my tools that I use every day. I do give you the links for most of them. So these are the three that I already have connected. But then there's going to be more. Your primary email, your primary calendar, your Google Drive, where all your things are, you're going to want to make decisions on how much you want to share. You can control what it can do if it gets access, whether it's read-only access, can it actually write or create for you? You can control all of that. And you do want to control that. I want to stress this. This is important from a security point of view. You do want to make sure you're keeping track of what it's allowed to do, and what it's allowed to do on your behalf is very, very important. Okay. So definitely keep track of all of those that you're letting AI take on your behalf. It's fantastic to have agents that can do some really, really, really amazing things, but you definitely want to control how far it can go on your behalf. I stress that every week because it's an important note. So I've already allowed it to do these three things because I'm educating everybody on these things. And so I do have to take that risk, but just be aware from a business point of view. You do want to be aware of it. And then here are things we're going to work on over the next couple of weeks, connecting in the CRM, website analytics, email platforms, and not only the regular one that we have there, but batch campaigns and things like that are going to be important for marketing. We were having a conversation, my buddy and I, ChatGPT, we're having a conversation about right now I use high level for my big batch marketing. So you can have, big batch marketing. You can have tools like leadbiz.ai. Leadbiz is a fantastic tool for agentic email marketing where you're sending out personalized emails to each of your users. And then I connect that to Go High Level, and I use Mailgun. There's a couple of tools. Mailgun is one of them. And it basically just lets you send thousands of emails. And you can, using a CRM system, control how often it does it. If you are putting out large emails, batches, you want to be very, very careful. You don't end up in the spam folder, things like that. And then you have your social media platforms. I'm working with my buddy to consolidate all of these email tools that I have. For example, you can't really do batch emailing with Google Workspace if you're doing a large volume because Google restricts how many you can send a day. So that's where Mailgun comes in, where you can use it for those. And then you still have to be careful you don't end up in the spam folder. All right, the dashboard should report every connection, right? As you add more connections, it should also recommend, hey, this is missing. It should show you your permissions and all these fun things. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling here. And then part two, let's talk about the actual, dashboard and kind of walk through. You guys have any questions? Please go ahead and ask them in the chat. How the dashboard works, again, website activity is going to track our visitors, our email responses, our calendar events, help us create and gather assets for our activity. And then the CRM is going to be the truth, if you will. In marketing terms, we want to have a place where everything lands so that you can easily do that analysis and all of the interactions are in a single place. Now, right now, I do have 2 or 3 places where that is tracked, and that's why I'm saying I'm trying to consolidate. All right, we want to have a daily, weekly command center, and we do want to make sure that we're building out each one of these things one step at a time. We're going to create a project in ChatGPT. I'm going to use my existing one, and then we're going to do some mock data there. We want to have all of the attached documents that we need, and then we want it to run, never creating anything fake. And then if it doesn't know, it asks. These are important things in when you're dealing with AI. These are the steps that we're going to build. We talked about these last week, which is why I'm kind of glossing over some of this. But I think the important thing is, again, if anything here, permissions required, you'll work with ChatGPT or Claude or any of these other ones, and you can determine in a granular level what you have working and what's missing. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at it from this part. So these are the sections. The marketing executive, I showed you the kind of finished product here, and these are the sections that it created for us. And so it did its review, and then it's building out all of these sections. So these are the things that are in this conversation that we're building here. So again, social media, your website, events, all of these things are all in the dashboard, breaking it out. So when I designed it, I wanted to make sure we had everything that we needed and then pull it all back into the drive functionality, what the dashboard will do, what it will never not do. And then we go right there. So now when we run the prompt, the first thing it does is it checks to see if that particular dashboard website already exists. If it does not exist, go ahead and create it. So this is part of the prompt and how it's going to work. And then this way, we only have a single site. This is what the beauty of the new functionality in ChatGPT allows us to do. Instead of having a new document created every week, and then you have to kind of parse it together, this way, it's in one place. It auto regenerates because you tell the AI to run this daily, run it weekly, so you have more finite control of how often it runs. And you can design a template that matches your branding. It's interesting because I track two different branding methodologies for Digital Express. I have one that is used for AI Lunch and Learn, and I've kind of settled in on this gamma theme. And then that's why the marketing dashboard kind of followed along with that. It still had some of my gold from my thing, but my important point of all of this is you want to be consistent in your brand colors and what logos are used and things like that. So let's go ahead and start working on the business context and building out this dashboard. I'm going to give you some prompts. And this is the output that we want to get from it. What's today's priority? Those are the things I need to focus on. So, for example, for this class, AI Lunch and Learn every Wednesday, I got to focus in on that. The lead source, the content needed, the risk, and the next best action. These are all just marketing terminology, including KPI. It's a measurement, the key metrics that you want to follow, and make sure that every week you're hitting your targets and your goals. And then if you don't measure it, you don't know if you're succeeding. We're going to tell it to go ahead and run this prompt. Express business brief. Actually, you know what I should do? Let's do this. Create an updated Digital Express business brief for the AI Lunch and Learn class. Exclude any financial information. All right. Actually, you know what? I should have used where's there we go, dashboard mock. I should use this one. Okay, actually. So I'm going to run that prompt that I just copied in here. And it should run with just the mock data. It just occurred to me that I created this last week for this expressive purpose. Use only information available from connected sources. Do not invent performance numbers. This is very important when you're doing your own internal and external analysis of things. You really want to make sure your AI is just not making stuff up to make you feel better. Yeah, your company is doing $1 million a minute. Really? Is that true, or is it just making stuff up? You want to be very careful with that part of it. So if I go back here now, it has created the other brief. Nope, still thinking on it. And so, well, let's see. Okay, so it's building a new structure out for me. It's building out these things that are not in the current, but I'm having it exclude financial figures and pricing only because I didn't want to share that with the class for obvious reasons. All right, so we'll let it run. Let's see. Yep. Now, here's what I wanted to show you on this. It's reading Gmail, calendar, and Drive skills. It's searching. What's nice is it kind of lays out everything that it's doing. It worked for 1 minute and 14 seconds on this. It searched Google Drive, it searched recent follow-up and proposals, did all of that stuff pretty quickly. And then based on the calendar, next 30 days, active campaigns, upcoming promotions. And so this is it doing an analysis quickly of the pieces, and then no post-class follow-up sequence was found for July 15th or the 22nd registrants. It's letting me know what it thinks it's missing. It's not true, but it's letting me know what it thinks it's missing and specific things it wants. These are the execution risks, how much you want to dive into this. And by the way, you can tell it to get more granular or get it to get more executive summary so that you don't have to, you can be comfortable with the amount of data that it shares with you. The AI can be very verbose, in other words. So you can push it both directions. All right. So it just created that for me. And let me do this. Let's add a new tab to the right. And we'll make another window. And the purpose of this window will be so that I don't have to keep going back and forth. I can have them next to each other. It's working on the dashboard as well. Okay, all right, perfect. It's kind of building that out. And then I also have this one here. And this one, I want to look at this here. Is it finished? Business brief. Nope, still working on it. Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to have so I can see both of those next to each other. All right, let's go back here. It's building out the analysis that I've asked it to do. And then this prompt is really, let's do a quick 7-day content queue. And so I should share. You're going to get all of these prompts, so you don't really have to do this. But if you're working alongside, here's the prompt for the AI marketing analysis. You should have had your business brief already done. Now here's the marketing analysis one, and then we're going to do the third one, act as my AI content manager. And so what's amazing about this process is I'm breaking it down slowly, piece by piece, but you, as you work this stuff out on your particular AI platform, your large language model that you like, you can do this as one big prompt, which is what's in the workbook, but I'm showing you piece by piece as we go through this. This example, let me close this down, is showing you, all right, hey, act as my AI marketing analysis, review my available marketing activities, and give me what I need. That's the first part of the prompt. And so it's laying this out. And these are all things that are in that big master prompt that's in your workbook, but I'm showing it to you piece by piece. Now it's acting as my AI content manager. And based on my business brief, which by the way, we're still building in the other tab, I want you to give me my upcoming calendar, create a 7-day content queue for each item. We're building out these things. It's letting me know your business does not need another content calendar. It needs a marketing command center. It's posting. These are the marketing things that it's going to build out for me. And it's going to be put out on LinkedIn primarily, some Facebook, email, so on and so forth. These are the automations that we're going to build so that the AI can post these out for me as we build all of the content. This is really, really fun stuff because you can automate stuff that you do over and over and over again, as long as you have the ability to connect. It's funny, even though I picked light, it's definitely working hard on this new business brief. And the business brief is important. So this is why I created a whole nother tab, because this thing is churning away at that concept. And so that's really cool. I like that. I do need an updated one, so it's fine. All right, so act as my content management. Each piece of this is going to go into that prompt. And then, so here's my email campaign prompt. So act as my email marketing strategist. Now, if you guys think I should do another Create X lesson, let me know and I can, give you one of those. But if you search the YouTube channel, I have done Create which is our acronym for the create method, which is our prompting method. We have lots and lots and lots of lessons on that. So that's why I haven't done one in a while. But if you guys need me to redo one, I'm happy to do it and update it. So we actually have the create X method now, and which is for adding in the agentic functionality. We've been talking about that for a while. So you can search the YouTube channel and it'll bring up the lessons that are focused in on the create method of prompting. So these are old ones, but the idea is if you've never heard of the create X method, go and watch one of those and they'll explain the importance of it in these prompts. So act as my email marketing strategist, create an email campaign, do all of these things for me. That methodology gives you really good prompts and really good output from those prompts. So we need an invitation, reminder, same day email, and a follow-up sequence. And we're going to automate all of these so that they happen every week consistently without you manually having to send out emails. All right, AEO prompt now. So this is a prompt to help us get found by AI, whether it's Siri, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, whoever you want to get found by, you want to be able to do this. So this prompt here is really powerful in that sense. So this is the business brief. Okay, cool. So, all right. So we've run the little AI 7-day content queue. So we've got a little content for 7 days. And so now we can run the AEO, right, version of that prompt so that now it's going to build out stuff that can live on our website and be fascinating to our agents. All right, this is pretty cool. I can download it too. All right, so I'm going to download it and let's see what it actually says here. And is it stuff I can show? Let's see, it shouldn't have any financial information. Yeah, cool. I like it. It's real simple. This is a really good prompt. What matters most? Ideal customers. I'm just making sure this is nothing in here that would be bad for you guys to see. I'm scanning it quickly here. I don't see anything too bad. All right, cool. I can share this with you guys. You can kind of see what the end result of the business brief looks like. All right, so this is an updated version of the business brief, and it's deliberately missing other key parts that you would want to have in your business brief related to financial stuff. It outlines for the AI, even though the AI helped create it, if this is the first time you've done that prompt that I shared it earlier, the interview prompt, the goal is to have in one document all of the important elements that the AI needs to know. So once it learns all of these things, what's my primary brand, my primary website, my business model, what am I reaching out to, purpose of the brief, demonstrate all of these things clearly to the AI and to yourself. Because if it's something in here you don't agree with, you need to know. I've always felt that with the help of AI and with the help of the websites, your business can be as big as you want it to be. So that's the real idea. And so using AI to do these things, and then the drive framework is the methodology. And so you want the AI to keep that in mind. Who's my ideal customer? All of these things need to be well defined in the AI and in your own mind so that you have clear marketing guidelines and SOPs and things like that. So it really does a good job. And this document is simple to create. What are the business assets that I like to talk about? To have this all put together in one place is fantastic because now you know, hey, all right, these are all things that I need to keep focusing on. And every week, the AI is going to make sure that all of my marketing efforts are all part and parcel to this. Okay. So my brand messaging, my voice, all of these things need to be defined. And even if you do only do it once a quarter, that's why I just updated this. Now the AI has updated this for me, and everything I create going forward will be updated because I didn't have Drive 360 in my old business brief, which is the reason why I went through that a whole exercise. So I think you guys get the importance of creating an updated business brief at least once a quarter. So make sure you add that to the automation schedule so that you guys kind of follow along. Okay, so this is now the AEO Visibility and Lead Generation Plan. So We have 10 questions the AI, customers may ask the AI, and the AI needs to be able to answer them. Do I need an AI consultant? How do I measure AI's return on investment? All things that customers are going to ask, again, make it related to your own business, of course. And then these are the landing page ideas. This is the AEO piece. And then we did the business brief, we did the different prompts, a couple of prompts. And so the AI is do next time, build your own dashboard. This is the homework that you're going to have. We're almost at the end, so I just want to power through this. We got 3 minutes. Build your drive, and you're going to get this link just for the sake of Danny forgetting things often. Let's go ahead and copy the link to the deck so you have it. Boom, it's in there. You're going to homework, build your own deck, your own dashboard, excuse me. So these are the core components of it. And you're going to have your own CTAs or call to actions. And we talk about those every week. List your channels to confirm tools. Right. So this is the last part of this. I just wanted to give it to you in a breakdown format. This is the important thing. So you want to set up an update schedule so you're always updating it once a week, daily, however you want to. You look at this stuff. For marketing, probably once a week is fine, but then you have daily activities in your content calendar that we created earlier. And then, so this week's assignment is to go out and build the first pass. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just run that master prompt after you've built your interview, after you've done your business brief update, because your thing's going to change in your business brief, and then have it run the individual prompts that I gave you just a moment ago, or run the big master prompt. It's fine. Do it either way. If you have all of the pieces in, then you can run that master prompt. And this is really the important message. Your marketing, you shouldn't be going, oh, it's Monday, I need to do these 10 emails. No, that's not how this should work. This should be something that is consistent week after week, and that you're not trying to remember to manually do these steps, okay? I am building out a system right now where it will build these individual pieces for me, and it will automate it on a weekly basis. So it'll make me better, and it'll make using my VA and by the way, if you need a VA for your business, I know some of you have mentioned that in the past. If you need a VA, I do offer both the agentic VA model and the human VA models in our business. So we can do both for you. So we have both styles of assistance available. As a matter of fact, one of my VAs is definitely looking for some projects. So if you need a virtual assistant and just to help you get these things done, we do offer pretty compelling packaging. And the reason why you can get a VA anywhere, you can get one for $10 an hour, but if they don't speak English and if they don't really understand small, medium business in Georgia, or in the US, then they're really not helping you. So you want somebody who has been trained, and my VAs are trained in my Drive format, my Drive system, and they get the results that my customers need. Instead of you spending a lot of time training them and explaining the simplest of marketing things to them, they are quite good at building websites, and we work together on building your AI apps for you. So you kind of put it together as to what makes a good sense. We are available for you. And when I talk about call to actions, that's one of the ones that I always suggest you do in any business interaction. All right, we're going to wrap up. It's 1:01. Man, we are getting good at this being on time thing. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am here to answer those questions. I'll drop my links one more time. You guys now have all of the workbook. You have the links to pretty much everything. So if you're missing anything, if you came late and you're missing something that I've just mentioned, let me know. Hopefully you should have everything. So you should have a workbook, you should have a link to this deck, and the updated video replay will be on the website within a couple of days. It'll be in the YouTube channel that I just shared. And so you can get that. You can look at last week's. All right, everyone. Anybody have any questions? All right. Have a wonderful day and a great week. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.